All right, so we are going to be talking about
Your boys just
the
got that smoke.
Ain't.
My bad. Let them know. Bring it back in. Bring it back in, Vick. I'm still hyped from that debate and just smoking your boys.
uh,
Vic, no.
all right, so
Had to dust that off. Been a while. Ain't worn it in a while.
all right, so we got the New Orleans Ain't on the clock at pick
Hey,
28 in the first round.
Who they?
Sorry, Saints fans.
Who they? Is it who that?
That's
Who
the
that?
Bengals.
Oh, who that? My bad.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
Bengals say who they say who that.
I mean,
I mean,
yeah, whatever. Tomato, tomato. All right. So the New Orleans Saints, the NFC South champions of 2020.
ooh,
Facts. Just speaking facts, guys. All
that's
right.
true.
They finished 12-4. And 5, I guess it was a lucky number. I have them overall league rank 5th in offense, overall league rank 5th in defense. And we see how sadly Drew Brees went out in his final NFL game in the playoffs after the fumble by your boy, which got him pretty much released from the team, the tight end.
Jared Cut.
Yeah, Mr. Cook. But nonetheless, life without Drew Brees now. So, quarterback situation still hasn't officially been squared away. You got Taysom Hill and Jameis Winston. I think it's a hands down that it should be Jameis Winston. I don't think it's a debate with that either. I don't think it's close as far as like quarterback skills. Now, I do think you still, I would say you don't want to put your eggs all in one basket either, though. So you still have Taysom Hill there, and you still do the same thing you've been doing the whole time with Breeze there. You let him
Right.
come in for his, little gadget
Gadgets.
plays, and you know that works. I think the combination of the two of those should be able to get them through the season for the most part. But for me, I'm going defense. Their linebacking core leaves a little bit to be desired for me. I think Demario Davis is the only guy who really kind of like stands out as far as linebackers. Uh, Obviously, their front seven's pretty solid. They did lose. What is his name? Trey Hendrickson. He just signed with the Bengals, but
yeah.
I mean, you still got Cameron Jordan on the boys. But yeah, if they be able to upgrade their linebacker position, I think that'd be a step in the right direction. Their defense was surprisingly really good last year, though. So I think adding a linebacker on top of what they already have, that or maybe corner. And I say corner because of the whole thing. I don't know if you heard the situation with Marshawn Lattimore. I'm pretty sure he's not going to be released, but he is definitely probably going to get suspended for a few games. You can bet you that once Goodell really dives into the whole situation, I can see him getting a couple, maybe 4 game suspension or something like that coming down the pipeline. So maybe somebody like Asante Samuel Jr. maybe if he's still there. If you're going to go cornerback, but I'm going linebacker. Uh, Jeremiah Owusu from Notre Dame.
Mm.
That would be my pick for the Saints. You throw him in there with Mario Davis. You got Cameron Jordan, the boys still up front. Like I said, they finished overall in total league rank defense 5th. You want to add to that. You want to, because the offense for the most part for the Saints has always been their strong point. So if you got a top 10, top 5 defense now, let's add to that. Even though you could argue that the offenses might take a downtick now without Breeze, But let's be real, his arm has kind of been retired for 3 seasons or so now. Like he's been throwing ducks for a while now. So, and they still won when he was out. Prior year with Teddy Bridgewater and Taysom Hill, and so they can they've proven that they can still survive without Drew Brees. So, but I think that'll be key. You build the defense, so if you have Mr. Winston or Mr. 30 for 30, as Spence likes to call him, if you have Mr. Winston as a starter, you might see a little more turnovers happen on offense. So if you build a defense to be able to combat that's something you're gonna want to need to do. Have a defense that can try to offset any mistakes that might be made by, I guess, you'd say a downgrade in the quarterback position. But that's all I got for him.
Well,
Take a deep breath, Vick. Take a deep breath.
Funny thing is, I completely agree with Trey. I got them stuck in the linebacker.
This is
from Notre Dame.
This is a
deja vu.
No, it's not even deja vu. This is a theme this show. I mean, we all agreed that AB was the best receiver of the decade. Now you're agreeing with me.
No.
Now you're agreeing with me with Jeremiah Owasu from Notre Dame. Perfect. Like this, let's keep this train rolling.
That's
not
how it. All right. First things first. Shannon Sharp Jr. That's not what I said. Okay. I never said that I agree with you on that. Like, yeah, that's who you picked, but that's not who I picked. All right. So Calvin Johnson. But anyways, we're talking about the Saints right now. So Notre Dame linebacker.
And you said you agree with me, right? Yeah, I said that.
In some aspects. Now, I didn't say the whole thing. I still picked Calvin Johnson as the best since 2010.
You keep going back to the last topic. All I care about is the part that you say I agree with Trey.
Okay.
That's all I heard.
I thought you try to go back on it. Okay, all right. So yeah, Jeremiah from Notre Dame is my pick. I think honestly, receiver is a big priority for the.
But you don't like Slant Boy?
Hey, they like Slant Boy apparently, but obviously they paid him. He got his bag, so he's doing his thing. But linebacker is definitely a good thing. They obviously lost. Well, not obviously. They lost Quan Alexander. Obviously he had the Achilles injury, which there's talk that he may re-sign with them, but that's still yet to be determined. They lost their Jenkins in free agency, which we'll see. They definitely need a receiver, though, in my opinion.
Yeah, let Emmanuel Sanders is in Buffalo.
It's a Buffalo. Yeah.
So it's like, I mean, they have. I think it's Devontae Harris, which he seems more like a slot receiver. He has some talent, though. He has some talent. He can play. But outside of that, I know they have another receiver, but they don't really have a legitimate number 2 receiver.
Is it Traquan Smith?
Yeah, Traquan Smith, and I think I said Devontae Harris, or what did I say?
Yeah. Is it
Demonte? It's one of Demonte or Devontae Harris. But he has more upside than Traquan Smith. Traquan Smith, he has his games here and there, but he hasn't shown that he's a dependable. In my opinion, he'd be third on the depth chart, but I would put him fourth behind whatever receiver they possibly draft, whether it's the first or second round. I would go second round receiver if I was the Saints, but at this point in the draft, they're picking low in the first round. So I'd go best available, but based on position of need. Linebacker is not entirely the biggest need, but they do need to address it just because Demario Davis, obviously, just having somebody co with him, like And plus he's up in there in age. He's not old, but he's getting there. So definitely having somebody to be mentored by Demario Davis will be a big plus. The end, that is something that I think they drafted. I forgot the guy's name, but he was from Wisconsin. Braun was his last name. I didn't see him play too much last year, but I believe he was part of the reason why, obviously they let Trey Henderson walk besides his cap number. And obviously the Saints do have cap issues. Now they're back in the positive last I checked, but still doesn't mean that they have, the ability. Well, actually, with these voided years might change, because they can obviously we've seen a lot of Houdini in free agency. But yeah, I would go linebacker, maybe cornerback if cornerback would be the top priority, just because I feel like, as Trey alluded to, Lattimore is potentially going to be suspended. We don't know how many games, but it's looking like that's going to happen. So why not get a cornerback in the first round if there's one that is scouted at that projection of the first round. You don't want to draft like the Raiders where you're drafting somebody that you're reaching for, so much to say.
A mid-second round guy in the early first.
Exactly. So draft at the rounds, and sometimes it can be drafting because that player may not be there the second round, and I can understand that. But at that point, if you want to trade up in the second round and make sure you get your guy in the first round. But regardless, cornerback would be the biggest need, but linebacker I would go with him, and then wide receiver, cornerback in the second round. They also do need a tackle at some point. They do a pretty good job, though, in my opinion, of evaluating players in terms of offensive linemen. The Saints do a really good job at developing those players. So I wouldn't say that would be a position that I would draft in the early rounds, maybe third, fourth round, but first round, definitely linebacker. Spence?
All right, for the New Orleans Saints, I also went defensive, but I went corner instead. So I went for Asante Samuel. Have that pedigree, that NFL like knowledge of. Hopefully he'll pass from his father. Will be there since the whole Lattimore situation. I did it morally because of Jenkins now gone and everything, but now since Lattimore might be out for a couple of games, that's more for me. It's more of the speed you need. I mean the Saints couldn't really do too much. Like you alluded to that, man. They just got in the positive because they were a sea of red. They were a sea of red, and they had to let go everybody, almost everybody, just to get ahead. My thing is that offensively, of course, you got Kamara, you got Slant Boy, and so receiving wise is probably going to be a little bit of an issue too.
So nobody
quarterback.
So nobody a Michael Thomas fan here? Like everybody's gonna call him. All right.
I mean, don't get me wrong. He's good, but I'm just saying the quarterback situation is what I'm worried about right now.
Man, that's really top 10, but that's a different day for a different debate.
That's a different debate for a different day. We gotta figure out. I mean, of course, it should be Mr. ESPN, Mr. 30 for 30 himself running offense. Not saying you can take Taysom Hill out and just continue to do the gadget plays, but it should be Jameis Winston under center. I just wish Teddy stayed. With this, but defensively, I think really should be the main focus in the first round, and for me, it should be Asante Samuel Jr.
He should go back. Teddy might need to go back.
Teddy, I wish Teddy can he? I mean, depends on what the Saints are willing to trade to Carolina.
Well, no, you have Teddy get released. and then he could just come back.
Oh, just wait it out. Okay. Yeah.
Put it this way: if
Teddy comes back.
if this Jameis thing don't go well and Taysom Hill don't work out, at some point in the season, if he's not already traded somewhere, I could see the Saints making that pulling that trigger. Like, hey,
Get
I know
Teddy
you
back.
can run this offense.
Yeah.
Which he should. I ain't mad at nobody for going to get their money, but he should have been patient.
He should have waited one more. Just one more. I know you want the money. I know you did.
Because to be honest, the way that game was going, if Teddy Bridgewater was still on the roster, I could have seen them potentially sitting Breeze
and
bringing Bridgewater in once he wasn't doing too good. But you weren't going to bring Winston in because you don't really trust him all the way yet.
Right. No offense like
trust
that.
Bridgewater in y'all system. So, but that's
yeah,
it is what it is.
Yeah,
I just feel like Bridgewater's getting kind of like the short end of the stick, wherever he about to be another Tyrod Taylor.
Yeah,
because Tyrod Taylor actually has a winning record as a quarterback. Most people don't realize that.
Yeah,
and he's not horrible. He just doesn't have, I guess, the it factor, if that makes sense. I can say about Tyrod, but he went to Cleveland, got hurt. Baker came in rookie year, balled out, never seen the field again. Then we seen what happened last year. Somebody they accidentally punctured his lung. Herbert had to play, balled out, and you see never looked back. So he's just been he's had some unlucky breaks to past couple seasons. But people seem to forget before Josh Allen got there, he had the Bills in the playoffs not too many years ago, like not too long ago.
I want to say it's after the EJ Manuel, like.
Yeah, it was. I think it was Rex Ryan's last year there, because Rex Ryan's the guy who actually, believed in Tyrod. But then again, I don't know if he was there when he was in Baltimore, so that might have been part.
Who's
of
that?
Tyrod, because y'all.
Oh yeah,
y'all had him first. Was Rex Ryan still y'all D coordinator when y'all had drafted Tyrod? I guess.
Yeah, he was.
Okay, so that makes more sense as to why Rex Ryan.
Yeah.
He had seen Tyrod.
Yeah.
Since Baltimore, so kind of made sense.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, he was definitely a fan of Tyrod Taylor when he was there. There was definitely some QB controversy in some sense at that time, even though everybody knew Joe Flacco was the starter, the man. But there was definitely some, like Ray Lewis, he definitely seen potential, but he knew that Tyrod most likely was going to have a opportunity elsewhere other than Baltimore. But I find it funny how
love to see.
Yeah, I found it funny though how like everybody's, I don't know why, but everybody got Asante Samuel Jr. falling down the board, which mostly probably because it's based on team needs. But I don't feel like he'll fall down there. But if he does, I would definitely select that. I'd be running to the podium.
Well, yeah, that would be a good. Okay, so it's a good fit because of the fact of Lattimore is probably going to get suspended, but it's also a good fit because of the fact of when he comes back from that suspension. Now you have the potential pairing of Asante Samuel Jr. and Marshawn Lattimore. So
yeah, that would be a 4x2 relay. I would definitely be passing that baton to that card to somebody. Run to that podium with that, and that's a steal. My opinion.
That is a steal. And if I'm a betting man, which I'm not.
But if they weren't to take him, maybe this next team that we're about to talk about, because they could probably use a cornerback if we seen that playoff game up in Lambeau. So, with that being said, we can
let's
go on to the next topic.
Are we gonna do the schedule?
Oh, you're right. I apologize. I thought Saints fans.
Forget the schedule now.
You got. Do you have the schedule, sir? My bad.
Yeah, I got the schedule.
All right. Yeah.
So, home and away, obviously, for all that know. For those who don't know, and you're new to the channel and new to football, the NFC South Saints, they have their division rivals, which is Atlanta, Tampa Bay, and Carolina. So, those. You got the home and away game. Now, for the home games, you have Green Bay, Dallas, Giants, Buffalo, and Miami. For the away games, you have New England, Jets, Philly, Seattle, Washington football team, and Tennessee. So I already did my math to it. I have the Saints finishing off at direction.
Thought you did your
I have the Saints finishing. I thought I did, but I messed up on that thing. I have the Saints finishing off at 11-6.
We're close. I got them 10-7.
10-7. I have it 9-8.
Okay, that's interesting.
Well,
so what games you got to losing?
Well, here's the thing. I have it pretty much split all the way. Like, there's probably going to be a Falcon game. Yeah, there's going to be a Falcon game that's just going to be like, what, WTF? Because it always happens. I don't know why.
Okay.
I mean, they're probably the ones that I say. Yeah, but the ones I know they'll probably. I believe Bills are going to give them. I know you said Bills. Like Bills in there.
Yeah. So.
Yeah. Okay. Bills. I know Bills going to get in trouble. Seahawks. I believe it should give them. Yeah. Seahawks going to give them trouble.
All right. So I'm just going to state mine. I have and I thought about that. Atlanta, I got them sweeping Atlanta. Even though I know you said that they have tough games.
It's going to be a WTF one. It always happens.
Always, yeah.
Yeah.
Obviously, the biggest factor is seeing how Jameis, but it's the Saints. With or without Drew Brees, they've shown that they get the job done. So I got them sweeping them. Carolina, I got them splitting. They take one at home. On the road, they lose. Tampa Bay, they win one at home. They lose at Tampa.
Yeah.
Green Bay, I got them beating Green Bay. I got them beating Dallas. I got them losing to the Giants. I got them beating Buffalo. I have them losing to Miami. I have them losing to the Patriots, winning against the Jets, Philly. I got them beating the Seahawks. I have them losing to Tennessee. And to keep it consistent, I have them losing to the Washington football team as I predicted Thursday.
All right, because we still got to keep that 12-5, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, because we got to throw this out there every episode for y'all who don't know. Vick Bynum said that the Washington football team are going 12-5 next season, so we just got to remind y'all every show that is a very bold prediction.
It is a bold prediction.
Anyway, so I got them splitting the Bucks. Got them splitting the Panthers, and I agree with Smith. I have them splitting the Falcons.
It's going to be a WTF game.
I have them beating the Packers. I have them losing to Seattle. I have them beating Dallas. I have them losing to Buffalo. I have them beating the Giants. I have them losing to Miami. I got them losing to Philly. I got them losing to Tennessee.
Okay.
I have them beating Washington.
Okay.
I got them beating New England, and I got them beating the Jets.
Okay. I forgot about Philly did beat the Saints last season.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
but they had Taysom Hill, so we'll see.
Hurts.
Yeah, that also was Hurts just came out of nowhere.
Yeah,
it's different when you
surprise games.
don't game plan for. When you game plan for Carson Wentz and then you get Jalen Hurts in there doing the stuff that Jalen Hurts was doing, it's like, what the hell is this?
Huge fantasy game.
I wasn't prepared for this.
But with that being said, we're off to the land of the cheese.
Ooh,
off to Lambeau. Here we go.
Lord.
So on to the Packers.